You're probably sitting in a job right now, one that doesn't light you up. You work with people you don't resonate with, earning far less than you feel you're worth. And yet, you stay. Not because you love it, but because, in this moment, it feels like your only lifeline. Your bills pile up. The rent is due. Groceries, debt. Maybe you dream of a different life. Traveling, owning something beautiful, finally being free. But that dream feels far away, like clouds passing beyond a mountain ridge. You're not alone in this. In Buddhism, suffering, or dukkha, is one of the four noble truths. But what most people misunderstand is this. Dukkha isn't just pain or sadness. It's the discomfort of wanting life to be different and not knowing how to change it. So, let me ask you, what if everything you believed about wealth was wrong? Maybe you've watched videos of young people driving exotic cars, flying first class, posting photos from Bali or Tokyo. Some inherited it, sure, but many didn't. And that sparks the question, how? How did they go from broke to bold, from paycheck to paradise? And more importantly, why not you? You might feel angry, you might even feel life isn't fair. But let me offer a different view, one grounded in mindfulness, intention, and karma. Your past actions brought you here, but your future begins with your next choice. You see, society trains us to be reactive, to follow the script, go to school, work a job, hope for a raise, retire. But this path wasn't designed to lead you to abundance. It was designed to keep you comfortable, safe, and sometimes stuck. And worse, it's a path that trades your most sacred resource, time, for a paycheck. A study by the OECD found that people in developed nations spend over 90,000 hours of their life working. That's a third of your waking life. What if you could reclaim even a fraction of that? So here's the first truth. The formula you've been taught is outdated. Money is not equal time. Money equals value delivered. And this changes everything. Let me explain. Think of someone like Oprah Winfrey. She was born in poverty, yet became one of the most influential women in the world. Or Howard Schultz, the man behind Starbucks, who grew up in a public housing complex. Their secret wasn't luck. It was that they solved a problem for the many, not just a service for the few. In the Dhammapada it is said, "As irrigators guide water to their fields, as archers aim their arrows, as carpenters carve wood, the wise shape their lives." These people shaped their lives with intention. They asked, where is their suffering, and how can I relieve it? Because here's the hidden truth. Every great fortune is built on easing someone else's burden. But what do most people do instead? They chase money. They ask, how can I make more? Instead of asking, how can I help more? If this is resonating with you, take a mindful breath and tap the like button. It helps the algorithm bring this message to others seeking clarity. And if you're walking this path of awakening, consider subscribing for more wisdom like this and comment, "I will reach abundance" in the comments so we know you take your financial life seriously. Now let me give you a modern example. Let's take Airbnb. Two broke guys in San Francisco couldn't pay rent. They noticed that people couldn't find affordable lodging during big events. Their solution? Let strangers sleep on air mattresses in their living room. Today, Airbnb is worth billions. They didn't chase wealth. They chased a solution, and wealth followed them. Chase not success, but significance. Do not run after riches. Run toward purpose. You might be thinking, but I'm not a tech genius. I can't build the next Amazon. That's just the ego whispering fear. You don't need to build a billion-dollar company. You just need to solve a real problem for a specific group of people. Your community, your industry, even your co-workers. Here is a tip. Start by listening. What are people complaining about at work? What's inconvenient for your neighbors? What frustrates your customers? This is market meditation, deep listening to the world's suffering. That's where ideas are born. A Harvard Business Review article titled "The Business of Solving Problems" confirmed that the most successful businesses in the last decade had one thing in common. They tackled emotional pain points, not just logistical ones. And in Buddhist economics, it's not about chasing maximum profit, but maximizing well-being. So imagine this. You build something that helps people and sustains you. Isn't that the middle way? One of the Eightfold Path's core pillars is right livelihood, earning income in a way that causes no harm and supports growth, compassion, and peace. When you solve meaningful problems, ethically and mindfully, you're not just building wealth, you're walking a sacred path. So here you are. You've realized that chasing money isn't the answer. You've stopped asking, how do I get rich? And instead begun to ask, whose problem can I solve today? And with that simple shift, you've stepped onto a new path, one that aligns not only with financial success, but with right intention and right action, two elements of the noble Eightfold Path. Now let's talk about something critical on this journey: scalability. Effort rooted in wisdom bears boundless fruit. It's not about working harder. It's about working wiser and letting your effort ripple outward. Imagine this. You're a yoga teacher earning $100 per class. Sounds great, until you realize you can only teach so many classes a day. Your income is capped by time. Now shift this model. What if you filmed those classes, turned them into an online course, and made it available to people across the world? Suddenly your wisdom spreads, and the money flows not from your time but from your insight, freely, peacefully. This is the heart of Buddhist entrepreneurship, liberating others while liberating yourself. Take Ali Abdal, a doctor turned YouTuber. He stopped trading time for money in the clinic and instead created scalable content, courses, videos, books. His income multiplied while helping millions. That's mindful leverage. Ask yourself, can what I do be taught, packaged or delivered without me physically being there every time? If the answer is yes, you're on the path to scale. Another example? Let's say you make handmade jewelry. Beautiful, yes, but each piece takes hours. Not scalable. Now imagine you digitize your art into printable designs, downloadable patterns, or even offer jewelry making classes online. Suddenly, your work becomes infinite in reach, but effortless in repetition. This is dana, the Buddhist virtue of generosity, giving value without attachment to outcome. Just as a candle lights others without losing its flame, so does the wise share their gifts without fear of lack. Let's bring in automation. Once your product or service is online, there are platforms like Teachable, Gumroad, or ClickBank that allow you to automate the entire process. Orders come in while you sleep. Delivery is instant. Customer service can even be outsourced mindfully. This doesn't mean you become detached or careless. In fact, true mindfulness means designing a business that runs well, even in your absence. Why? Because it returns to you the most valuable gift of all: time. Time to reflect. Time to grow. Time to live, not just survive. A Stanford study showed that entrepreneurs who delegate and automate non-core tasks see 40% more growth over a 12-month period than those who try to do everything themselves. This isn't laziness, it's wisdom in action. If this is making sense to you, type "Freedom begins with time" in the comments. I'd love to hear what scalable ideas you're considering. And if you haven't already, take a deep breath and hit that subscribe button to walk this mindful path with us. Now let's talk about the ego trap. Sometimes we get attached to being the doer. We want to be involved in every task. We tell ourselves, "No one can do it like me." But Buddhism reminds us attachment leads to suffering. Let go of the illusion of control. Let your actions speak, then step back. The work is done. The Tao Te Ching, a text often embraced by Buddhist practitioners. As your business grows, your job is no longer to do everything, but to become the guardian of the vision, the protector of flow. You hire, you delegate, you create space for others to flourish. That's true leadership. That's right livelihood in full bloom. Let's pause and ground ourselves. Close your eyes. Visualize yourself solving a problem that helps thousands. Not just making money, but making meaning. Imagine waking up with purpose, peace, and freedom. This is not a fantasy. This is your potential. Return to the breath. And when you're ready, let's continue. By now, you've heard the deeper truth. Wealth does not begin with money. It begins with service, with value, with the courage to solve meaningful problems in a meaningful way. You've learned how to walk away from the trap of chasing money, and instead to attract it by living in alignment with the path of mindful entrepreneurship. So what comes next? When your business is thriving, when it's scalable, automated, and freeing up your most sacred resource, time, you'll reach a point where a question quietly arises. Do I keep this, or do I let it go? And here's where Buddhist wisdom offers something few business gurus ever talk about: the art of detachment. All conditioned things are impermanent. When you see this with wisdom, you let go of clinging. Yes, even a successful business, something you poured your heart into, must be held lightly. Because the ultimate goal isn't ownership, it's liberation. Some people choose to stay with the company they built. They love it, it nourishes them, and it feels like right livelihood. Others choose a different path. They sell it. This is known as an exit or acquisition in the business world. It's when someone else, an individual, a brand, a corporation, purchases your business, your system, your solution, not because you failed, but because you created something of lasting value. In Buddhism, we don't mourn the falling of a leaf. We recognize the cycle of seasons, and we celebrate the life that once was. Instagram was sold to Facebook for $1 billion. PayPal was acquired by eBay, netting Elon Musk $165 million. Each of these exits wasn't just about cashing out. It was about passing on a system that could scale beyond the original creators. Could your idea be next? You may say, "But my dream isn't that big." That's okay. Maybe your vision isn't global, but personal. Maybe you want to spend your time with family, volunteer, travel, meditate, write, teach, serve. Whatever that dream is, the time your business has bought you can now fuel it. If you've made it this far, comment below, "I am free." And if this series has opened your heart, hit that like button and subscribe so we can continue walking this sacred journey together. Let's go even deeper now, to a place most wealth conversations never reach. Because beneath the desire for money, beneath the goals and the spreadsheets, is a deeper yearning, a longing for freedom. Not just freedom to buy things, but freedom from worry, freedom from fear, freedom from waking up every day and thinking, "How will I survive?" It is not riches that enslave us, but the thirst for riches. There are people with $10,000 who feel free, and people with $10 million who live in constant anxiety. So ask yourself, what was it really about? Was it the car, or the feeling that came with it? Was it the beach vacation, or the peace it gave you? Was it the big house, or the sense of security and belonging? Now imagine you could feel that way without needing the external thing at all. That is true wealth. A mind at ease, a heart at peace, a life aligned with Dharma. What we're seeking is not the money, but the freedom behind the money. And the irony? When you stop craving money and start serving, start solving, start showing up with love and presence, money finds you. Each morning, ask yourself, who can I serve today? What pain can I reduce? What peace can I create? Write it down, just one line. Over time, this becomes a map toward impact, and from impact comes abundance. As rain falls equally on the just and unjust, your service should flow freely to all, without judgment. Even if you never build a business, even if you stay in your job, you can still ask, what problems can I solve here? What value can I add? How can I elevate the space around me? Because even in your current role, your income is tied to your impact. When you bring more solutions, you attract more opportunity. Whether that's a promotion, a freelance offer, a side hustle, or a business idea waiting to be born. Now let's summarize all the steps in this journey. Stop chasing money. Start solving problems. Listen deeply to the market and the suffering around you. Offer a solution. Scale it mindfully. Automate it with grace. Detach from outcome. Let abundance flow to you, not through force, but through Dharma. This is the middle way of wealth. Thank you for walking this path with me. We've covered the outer world of money and the inner world of meaning. You now carry the map. The next step, it's yours. If this video sparked something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Discuss it in the comments. Subscribe. Let's create a wave of awakened entrepreneurs who build not just empires, but impact. You don't need to be the richest person in the world, but you can become the most peaceful one. And that, in the eyes of the Buddha, is a life well lived. Until next time, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from fear and wealthy.